What is up, everybody? Welcome to Theocracy. I am your intrepid host, Theo Snodgrass, comedian and podcaster out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Wherever you may be, thank you for making me a part of your day. Oh man, I'm happy anyone's watching. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I did one of these. I haven't done one of these in a while because a lot of reasons. I fucking hate interacting with social media. I hate using computers. And also, this makes me like almost no money. So at some point, I have to focus on things that make money. A lot of things have happened, though, right? Kind of a slow news week, right? Since I've been gone. Oh, man. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. There's so many things I wanted to comment on. There was like a whole bunch of stuff, but now it's good to be back. I'm just back because it's my birthday. I'm having a good time. I'm not trying to say anything controversial today. It's just my birthday. That's why I'm here. Happy birthday to me. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, things have been going good. So I'll update you guys on kind of what's going on. Assuming people are interested and they show up. And yeah, this is good. I'm not gonna do I can't. I also be explaining like I'm gonna be pivoting the channel a little bit because like this is like super like sick and fun and dope, and I love hanging out with everybody. But I need to do other things if I want the channel to grow also. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then like just random shit. Like if you guys like ask me questions in the chat, then I'll give you my opinions on things. Let's just say hi to the chat real quick while I'm just hanging out. Oh, here's Alpha Omega. What's up, buddy? Great comedian has returned. Oh, it's very nice. Thank you for noticing. Jason, friend of the channel. Yo, Theo, happy birthday, man. Oh, hey, what's up, Jason? Thank you for hanging out. Let's see how we're doing on is the Instagram going? Oh, okay, cool. We got some people on Instagram. That's nice. All right. I never know how it's gonna go with Instagram because it's like it like takes the camera and makes it like and I can't, it doesn't feed the chat into my feed. Like I have to go look for it. So if you're at Instagram and you post like a chat, I probably didn't see it. So it's not personal. Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun. So it's my birthday today. I don't have anything super pressing planned. I'm probably just gonna go do like my regular comedy stuff tonight, but it's been rad. So I've been off streams for a bit, just been focusing on stand up. And so that's really demanding and takes a lot of like time and energy and focus. So I've been doing a lot of that. And this is going to be kind of I think going forward, I'm going to do live streams to just like hang out with the audience. But most of my like content, I'm going to have to do in the form of like pre-recorded videos. So I got to do that because it's also like less time consuming. Like I can knock out a bunch of pre-recorded videos in one day and then not have to fucking think about it for the rest of the week, you know? So I'm going to do most of like my content on that where I can like edit it and stuff like that. And then I'll just do, I don't know, whatever you guys want to talk about for live streams. We'll do that. I'll do that as more of like an audience focused thing. Where you could do live chat interaction, because I've seen a lot of creators do that where they have a chat who's active and like asking questions and stuff like that, and they manage it. So I'd like to get to a point where the channel is like a sustainable size that we can do sort of like active Q&A type live streams. Those would be more fun because it's like whatever, because then like, you know, sometimes I'll like want to do a topic and I'll like live react to it, and then I'll say something and I'll be like, that sucked, I wish I hadn't said that. Oh well, it's just like on the internet now. So I might do like more. The other thing too is that like that's what like everyone says I need to do in order to grow the channel stuff, which sucks because I actually just like the live content better. I like doing the live shows way better, me personally. So, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, dude. So yeah, it's been kind of a fun birthday. Oh, Roguish Nerd is here. What's up, buddy? Hey, man. Yeah, we're back. We're back. Geez, there's a lot of stuff to comment on. Okay, this is just top of mind, so I'm just gonna throw this out there. So the whole like Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf thing, I think we're being like I think they're trying to like psyop people into rioting. I think that's what's going on. And another I got another thing. We'll get into that later. That's what I want to talk about. So this is something that's like not nice to say, but a lot of the hubbub that happened that led to the Summer of Love in 2020 was being pushed by like Russian and Chinese accounts. So they were pushing like agitprop to an anti-police sentiment and like divisive stuff that was designed along racial lines. So a lot of the stuff that led to the riots in 2020 was like agitprop from Russian and Chinese accounts. I wonder if something similar is happening now because I see some people's commentary on it and it just like doesn't make any sense. It's like, what the fuck case are you even talking about? Like, do I not know as much about this case as I thought? And then I look into it. It's like, no, just like, I'm not I'm not licensed to practice law anywhere, but I took criminal procedure 1 and 2 and con law 2. So, I know a couple of things, and I took, criminal law. And I look at this and it's like, oh, it seems like you're not allowed to like stab people to death. You're not allowed to do that. I understand how this happened. I understand how this person was convicted. This makes sense. Like there's nothing like super controversial about it from just purely like a facts-based logical perspective, but a lot of people are like freaking out for some reason. And my only thought is like, okay, the social media that you're receiving on this topic must be very different than what other people are seeing. There must be some like significant deviation in what you're hearing versus what I'm hearing about it. Cause this narrative about like it being like a self-defense case or something is like very bizarre, to me. You're not allowed to stab people in a fist fight. I guess if there were like a bunch of people attacking him at the same time and they were all like beating up on him and one of them got stabbed because, there was like a disparity in force, then you'd have a case. But that's like not what they argued, I guess. And it's weird because, okay, I also found out the narrative about his mom used all the GoFundMe money to buy a house and then left him with a public defender is actually not true. Apparently, they rented another house for security reasons and they did hire a private attorney. So a lot of the narratives that are out there about the case, as inflammatory as it may or may not be by itself, a lot of the narratives out there about the case are like lies to make it more inflammatory. And I'm like, that's super shitty. That's super shitty because then like how are you supposed to like know what's happening? And it's like, all along racial lines, which is a super tense issue. It's like they're trying to provoke some kind of like, 2020 type event. It's what it seems like to me. And I'm looking at it like this is like not even bear in mind, I'm not licensed to practice in any state anywhere, but I've read some things and it just looks pretty fucking straightforward to me. Like, I mean, shit, man, it's not good, but like, I'm not psyched about it, but it is what it is. Sometimes, Jason, that's the point. Yeah, I think you're probably right, dude. I think the point is like on purpose to try to, create something disruptive and which is a huge fucking bummer. It just like I feel like people are getting fucked with. So I was on the road kind of recently. I was doing a show. And so after the show, I was talking to a couple of female audience members, and I was doing what I always do, which I kind of talk to people and eventually I try to get them to like bitch about men and like dating problems and stuff like that because I can mine material from that. So they're bitching about like how men won't step up and men aren't leaders and men don't take charge and all this stuff, right? And then they both start talking about the mental load. And I'm like, wait, hold on, time out. Do you guys watch a lot of TikTok? And they're like, yes, I watch so many reels. So they're in this like short video economy, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is. And they're all like downloading their talking points from there. Right. And so now they have this idea about like the mental load which they didn't have before. They didn't know the word mental load, a year and a half ago. If you asked them 18 months ago, they probably didn't know the word mental load, right? But now they know it because social media told them that, and now they're irritated. Now they have a reason to be irritated, at men kind of conceptually, right? But they didn't have that idea before the phone put it in their head, It just seems like these devices, we've got these like little devices in our pockets that function to piss us off, basically, and make us irritating and hard to get along with people, make it more difficult for us to get along with others, I guess is what I'm trying to say with that. Yeah, dude, it's fucking bizarre. I don't know what to make sense of it. That was one of the reasons I stepped away. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my channel. I mean, I know kind of I have a better sense of it now. But I just want to make sure that I'm like saying things that are true and that I'm having a net positive effect on the world, at least to the best of my ability. That's hard to control, I guess, but I just want to make sure I'm only saying things that I think are true. That's important to me, So I don't know if it's important to anyone else, but it matters a lot to me. One thing I've learned is that like on YouTube, a lot of people are just like fucking around, just saying whatever is going to get them attention. And that is a huge bummer. Obviously, if you are a person who cares a lot about the things you say, and then you encounter people that don't give a shit at all about like the integrity of what they're saying, So, but it's okay. Like not everybody's like that. There's lots of cool folks out there putting out good, interesting content. But that's not necessarily what's rewarded. I've noticed that. It's like crazy inflammatory bullshit. One thing, this is another thing. Okay, this is another like lessons from the road that I'm picking up. A lot of the best people you could hope to meet are not on social media at all. Or they've got like an Instagram account with like 100 followers and it's private. And now sometimes those people are still like watching a ton of reels, but a lot of people are not. They're just kind of like living in the world. They're not really engaging with social media that much, and the less they engage with social media, the less stupid their beliefs about reality tend to be. So you got to think, right? Like, okay, of the percentage of the population, probably the 40%, there's probably like 40%, I don't know what percent, but there's a really decent percentage of people that don't interact with social media really at all. And then there's like the people who make videos. And then there's like the top 1% most annoying people. And those people are the ones that the algorithm pushes and like shows you because they irritate people and they cause these like extreme reactions, right? So because they irritate people, that's what they show you. So for instance, like if you're like me and your algorithm is just like, women yelling at the camera, right? That's the genre of video that I keep getting sent because that's what I react to, right? That's only like the most like 1% most obnoxious people that are even making those videos. And if that's all you see, that's ignoring. There's the people who watch it and agree with it, the people who comment on it, those people also suck. And there's a whole bunch of people that just like are sick and tired of that like don't even engage with it. And those people you can only meet if you like go outside. So that's kind of a motherfucker. That's something I've been kind of wrestling with myself. Yeah, that's maybe 20% of people are terminally online. That's a good guess. That I would say is like if you are deeply invested in multiple different Twitter arguments, or if you like, I got into like a fucking comment thing with a guy on Instagram yesterday where he was just reply guying me with like bullshit, Well, Iron Oxide is here. What's up, buddy? Happy birthday. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah. It's like, but yeah, so and it's just like, oh, okay, you're, doing this for some kind of emotional release because you're like dissatisfied with your life. I don't know. At least that was the impression I got from that guy. He was like kind of basically he was one of these child-free people. I don't know if you've encountered these people. They're very strange. They're basically like adamant that they don't want children, and they don't want children. They're mad that people keep asking if they want to have children, and they also don't want to see other people's children in public. They find it annoying. And for some reason, they want to tell everybody, they want to go on the internet and tell everybody how annoying they find it that other people have children, I guess. That's their whole thing, to the point that it becomes like their identity. They're just like not having children, which is, anyway, it's just like a thing that exists. Anyway, so some of that spilled over. It struck me as kind of like where he was coming from. I don't know 100%. I'm not 100% sure this guy is an active Reddit user, but my guess based on just his whole vibe is that he's an active Reddit user. And I don't mean that as a compliment. No disrespect to the active Reddit users in my audience. Nobody's perfect. I do offer a pathway out. my platform is a pathway out for you habitual Reddit users. Less than 5% don't use the internet. Yeah, most online discourse definitely comes from bots, though. Almost 100%. I've known. Okay, and the other thing too is if you go, X released the feature where you can check and see where it's actually from. A lot of it is like South Asia. So a lot of these accounts that are tweeting the most inflammatory bullshit are in India or Pakistan or like Indonesia or something. Is Indonesia South Asia? I think it is. Doesn't matter. The point is, it's the most like obnoxious shit that you're seeing is from non-US accounts. They're just being inflammatory to engagement farm to make money because that's what incentives the platform has created. The incentives is to just be horrible. Oh, okay. Hold on. We'll talk about that child free. Yeah, but the child free folks are they're just like a barrel of laughs. I don't know. It's just like not everybody can be a victim. You know what I mean? Like some people, like sometimes the world things are just not for you and you can just keep it pushing. Like not everything has to be about you. Not everything has to be like a reason for you to complain. You can just not complain about stuff. I don't know if people know that. You can just like let stuff happen and not bitch about it. That's totally fine. That's completely allowed. No one will be upset. No one will be like, oh my God, I really wish someone had complained about that. 90% of the time, you just keep it pushing. You just keep it pushing. Like with a kid on a plane, like the kid. So the video was like a kid on a plane, basically, and it was like crying, and it was like, "Are you mad about this?" And I was like, I would just like put in my headphones and keep it pushing, and that's what I would do. Like I don't care if a baby's crying on a plane. I just bloop in my headphones, and I just keep put. And I'm on planes a lot. Like I travel a lot because of like comedy and stuff. So the most annoying people on planes and buses are, and I read a lot of both, are usually adults. It's like babies, like sometimes they do fucking cry. And look, and I understand it's like not the best idea to take a baby on a plane, but like I don't know why that baby's on the plane. I have no idea what it's for some reason they got to travel with the baby. I don't know why. No, it's nobody's first choice. But I also don't really care why. I'm not like thinking that much about it. Like if something in my environment is noisy and I don't like it, I just boop. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Let's look at the chat. To paraphrase a bit, the world is a bad place and it is wrong to bring someone into this world. Mostly, however, this is root of a personal trauma related to childhood. Yeah, bingo. That is what is that? The antinatalist position. Thanks, Alpha Omega. So the antinatalists are saying they just like fucking hate. It's just different ways of saying the same thing. It's just like really, I don't know what is going on. I think, it's a, bad childhood is part of it. They got their own personal shit that they got to deal with. I guess that's what I would say. I don't really know what's causing it, but they get like very uppity and like, oh, fuck yeah, Vagabond's here. What's up, buddy? Happy birthday to me. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Seems like the idea of protecting your offspring for the horrors of the world is not an option. Yeah, and also like, I don't know. I'm Catholic, so I think suffering is good. So the fact that you're like, the world is full of suffering is like, yeah, duh, that's the point. Suffering is good, actually. It's the difference, the subtle distinction. Somebody said it, not me. It's not original to me, but Protestants think pleasure is bad and Catholics think suffering is good. And that's a subtle distinction that I actually kind of agree with that framing. So if you tell me as a Catholic, oh, the life is full of suffering. If you have a child, they're going to suffer a lot. It's like, I hope so. I fucking hope so. Because that's the whole fucking point. Like suffering is what brings you close to God. You stupid. You stupid fuck. It's like that's the thing I cannot stand about like leftists is their pathological like avoidance of suffering, or they're thinking that suffering is like the greatest possible evil. So their whole morality is just avoiding suffering and like harm reduction and all this stuff. But actually, sometimes when bad shit happens to you, it's like good for building character. Like sometimes it's good actually if your life is difficult. I we should like should be easy and no one should struggle and no one should suffer. It's like some suffering is good actually. But of course, that's like me being like a fucking religious fanatic. So feel free to just disregard that. But you know, I don't know. Let's see. Black adults are idiots. No comment. No comment, but we've all ridden buses before. So we know what's going on. A lot of it is rooted in selfishness or the inability, difficulty with the idea of sacrificing oneself for others. Yeah, this idea that, I mean, what are you going to do with the second 40 years of your life? Like, I'm sitting here on my birthday. Look, I'm in my James Bond years. I'm in my Batman years. You know, these are the years when the fucking the training has been, all the education and training has been imputed, right? This is the part where the legend is being written. This is what I am as a person, you know. But I also, you know, kind of at the halfway point here, I'm looking ahead and I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of stuff to do, but like, what do you do with like the second 40 years of your life if you don't, you know, have children? I don't know, man. This is just me thinking out loud. And I say this as someone who has no children. So, you know, I look at it as like a really smart thing to do for most people. And even though I don't have children myself, the understanding that I have from most people who do is that it's a very positive thing, but it's like transformative. It's like very difficult sometimes and very stressful sometimes, and it can be very expensive sometimes, and it's all these things, but it doesn't mean you don't do it. It just means that it's like this life altering thing that you take on. And it's transformative and it's like good thing for humans to do. I know God wants you to do it. It's literally one of the first things he tells you to do is be fruitful and multiply. So it's like, I don't know, that makes sense to me. But and to have all that like fucking hostility towards you know, children, like conceptually, just like not even like, hey, you know, having kids is not for me. That's fine. Whatever, bro. I mean, I don't know. I view it as you have a duty to your ancestors to continue the civilization. And I think you owe a duty to God to have children and to have family, unless God is calling you to something different. Like some people are not supposed to have kids. It's just how it is. It's just how God drew it up, I guess. You know, so it's not for everybody, but for like a lot of people, it is. So if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. That's cool, man. But I don't understand why you got to be like a fucking Reddit mod about it. You know, like I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what that is. That amount of hostility. It's crazy. The other thing too, this is weird. I noticed uh yeah, that's a good point. Jason lands some wisdom in the chat. Have you considered most of them hate themselves? That has to be it. Cause like I think that is the secret. Like I think if you like yourself and you think then I think having kids is like a normal thing to want to do. Like if you're just like, I don't know, like if you like yourself and you like your family, and some of us look, I have a very difficult, you know, complex, you know, relationship with my family of origin. And after I don't know, I think they're pretty cool now after like a lot of work and like learning to working on myself and like understanding things from other people's perspectives. You know, it's pretty cool, man. I know a lot of people who have that story. They have a very difficult, like, you know, family of origin. And so they don't want to have children at all. And it's like, that's a huge fucking bummer, man. It's a huge bummer. It's like you're missing out on something really powerful that life has to offer, you know, one of the most powerful things. But this is what I hear. Again, this is all in theory. It's all conceptual. I don't have any children. So I'm not like hating on the people. I don't understand. It's like the hostility on this issue is like 100% one way. Like, I don't know a bunch of like you know, pro child people that are like fucking, you know, bum rushing, you know, that are bum rushing, you know, child free Reddit accounts. I don't know how we got on this. This was just like a weird thing that happened to me recently. I'm trying to engage in social media more. That's what the fucking point is. And so I end up commenting on shit, and then I have to deal with these freaks. And it's like, you're clearly unemployed, and I have a verified Instagram account. So if you can bait me into a conflict, that's like good for you and a waste of time for me. So, I don't know. Like I said, we got a lot of projects coming up. We got a lot of podcast projects coming up. So that's pretty exciting. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's too soon to announce it yet, but I got some good stuff coming up. While I got you here, uh, if you guys have time, if you guys are coming to the FNT meetup, I'm gonna keep repeating this on like every stream. I have to do a bunch of streams now and do this. But if you're coming to the FNT meetup, I'm gonna try to do a taping that weekend. What's that first Saturday in August? I think it's either gonna be what is that? Like the 7th or the 8th. It's gonna depend on. Yeah. I think probably the 8th. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a taping when I'm here. So if you're at the FNT meetup, you'll get to go to watch me do comedy if you want. I mean, there'll be a couple of chances to watch me do comedy, but that night I'm going to be doing the taping. So I'm going to have like shows all that week because it's a weekend. But I'll still try to pop out and see people who are here. So that'd be sick. That was the main reason I wanted to do that. Is like I have to promote the taping. Oh, fuck, dude. This is what I'm telling you. I'm trying to engage in social media more. That's a mistake, my guy. Bro, don't I know it? I fucking hate this shit, dude. Like, I like doing live stuff on YouTube sometimes. Like, that's fun. I like talking to you guys, but I do not enjoy Instagram. Do not enjoy Instagram. There was by the way, I gotta show you something. Hold on. Let's see if I can find this. I didn't plan any topics for this episode. I'm just dicking around. I just wanted to do something because it was my birthday. But then Charles Barkley said something. Let's see if I can find the video of this. I just so you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. Hold on. I found it. Oh, Lord. Hold on. This is super funny, but it's going to take me a second to pull it up on the screen because I'm a fucking goober. Yeah. Let's see. So this Charles Barkley said something, and this is a sign. This is like my sign that society is healing. I'm going to pull this up. Hold on. Check this out. You only need to hear the audio. So for those of you that are audio only for this episode, it's just a video of Cardi B performing and her titties are out kind of. So they're not like out, but they're like, she's wearing a very low cut shirt. So she's very generous cleavage. And then this is what happens.
3-0 We've been competing with Cardi B here. We lost. Hey, I don't know if those B's, that might be Cardi D's.
Those of you that didn't hear, he said, I don't know if that's Cardi B. Those might be Cardi D's. Anyway, so he said this during the coverage of the NBA Finals. And so like on television, and like a lot of people were watching him say that. And he's not fired yet. People want him fired for this, and he's not fired yet. Hold on, let's see if there's more. They're just laughing.
I sure am. New love indeed. I'm pretty sure those are me. I don't know.
Bro, he's still ripping on them.
I know it wasn't Chuck, you let her dig. You can't have to me, Kath. I told you to. She got the wrong initials.
God, yes, this is on television that he said this, and he hasn't been fired yet, which I think is kind of remarkable in its own way. Hold on. There we go. Now I'm back. That's kind of remarkable, I think. He hasn't been fired. This is what I'm saying. I think that's a sign that like society is starting to turn around. If he does not get fired, then that means I think we're back, guys. This is what I'm saying. I think society's coming back. I think we're resetting. I think the craziness is starting to taper off, if that works. Oh, man. Yeah, dude, this has been, I don't know. That's been cool. But yeah, no, I'm kind of I'm looking at my life, man. I'm pretty happy with how things are going. as I like so far, I would say. It's been a pretty good year. Like I said, moving to Vegas was a really good idea. So, like, just like retrospect to the last year is pretty cool. But yeah, that was fun. That was just like a fun little thing that I saw. It does feel like we're back. It does feel like we're back. But yeah, I'm not. I want like I would do like a instead of bringing that up on a live though, I'd do like a pre-recorded video where I talk about it and why it's significant. So that's what I'll do. So I don't know. We'll see. I think that'll be easier to watch. Like more people will watch them, I guess. Which the whole point of like doing this is so that people watch it. You know, I'm doing. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, don't partake in the brain rot. Lets it take over. Yeah. Lets it take over. Yeah, I think you're right. It's like you almost can't you almost can't interact with social media without it influencing you. I don't know if you can. I'm still trying to quit scrolling short videos. I'm still trying to quit that. Like that's a very difficult thing to quit doing completely. I've pivoted a lot to reading and I still am doing a lot of reading and I'm trying to not watch any TV either. I'm really trying to like check out of it. But the problem with that is that you miss stuff. Like example, that's right. I started off the show with this whole like Austin Metcalf thing. I'm completely out of the loop on that. I was not aware that this was like a big controversial thing. I thought everybody was pretty much lined up that it was just like, oh, that's a murder. So that's like not good, obviously. So I didn't know that it was like a big, like controversial thing that a lot of people were disagreeing on. I didn't know. No one had told me. So yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Cardi D's nuts. You get some credit for that, Jason. Good job. So short form content works. It distracts you. It does. What it feels like is you're just checking out. Like it's not actually informing you. Like you kind of feel like maybe you might be receiving information, but then you end up just checking out. You end up checking out for a long time and losing like big blocks of time. And you end up just on this like emotional roller coaster, which shows you stuff that's irritating. Although lately I've noticed because I'm not engaging with as much of like the gender war content. It's showing me is fucking babies. Every single thing is babies. It's like babies and dick pills. I get so many ads for dick pills. Truly so many ads for dick pills. More like if I was in the market for dick pills, I would be so locked in. It's just like every third ad is an ad for dick pills. That's all right. Just wait until your algorithm changes. You got another year. And you're going to start getting the ads for dick pills too. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. I don't know. It's like dick pills and like, do you want to date a woman who lives overseas and like hair plugs and just testosterone replacement therapy. That's the other one I get a ton of ads for. I was like, damn, this is fucking bleak. It's not good. It's not good. The algorithm is not super friendly. And just like shit tons of babies. Like every fucking video is about a baby. It's like every third video is a baby. I don't know. A lot of my friends are having babies right now. I was gonna say making babies. I guess they're making them too. They're certainly producing them. That's not true. I didn't see any of that. I just show up and the baby's already there. So I can't speak to how the baby got there. I don't know if it's like they got it the regular way or if it's like an import. I hear the imports are expensive. I don't know. But the point is, a lot of people I know have babies now, which is just kind of a weird thing. It's weird because like some people I know have babies and some people I know like do cocaine. So it's like it's just like weird. It's a weird age to be. Like some people I know are like have mortgages and babies and they're like settled in and they're like on this like very solid life trajectory. And then some people are just like, they're just doing hallucinogens at music festivals. Yeah, so could go either way. And I'm not really in either. I kind of have a foot in both worlds. Like I'm not really like a party guy, but I don't have a family either. So like who's available for me to hang out with a lot of times is like party people. Woo. Oh, Rational Female's here. What's up, girl? How you doing? Shout out Rational Female. Happy birthday to both of us. It's 1 a.m. in the UK. About to go to sleep. I'm now 29. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's cool. Because of time zones, we're having our birthday at the same time for now. That's pretty cool. Yeah, she's on June 11th. So be sure to check out her birthday stream as well. Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird age to be right now because of that. I don't know. Like, it's also like this is a difficult age to be in the dating market because like I'm saying, everybody who's like, if you're 30 plus and you're single, that means you either got divorced or you've been on Tinder off and on for like 10 years. So everyone is fucked up, basically. No one is okay. Everyone is like fucked up and traumatized and like shivering like they're coming out of the jungles of Vietnam. Everybody's pretty gun shy. It's tough, man. Women in their 30s are tired. And I have a lot of material about this, so I don't want to do too much in case you guys want to go to the taping. But yeah, dude. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to find somebody who's like open to forming relationships, who's not retarded or currently a whore, like professionally. Like not even like amateur level, even if you're whoring at the amateur level, whether you're a casual or competitive whore or just just a casual whore, either way, if you're on that leaderboard at all, I just don't want no, not good. I don't really care if they're a retired whore at this point, by the way. Like if you used to be a whore and you're not currently, that's fine. I'm kind of like whatever about that, you know. But it's tough, man. There's just like not like everybody who's available is a little bit fucked up. All the people who are like good at relationships are in relationships. Everybody who's available is fucked up now. And you know, it's yeah, maybe changing where you're looking. I don't know. I'm casting a pretty wide net. Like I said, so my solution to it was just to play the numbers game. My goal was to meet like 1,000 women and see. So if I meet 1,000, I'm gonna meet a good one, right? That's yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, here we go. Hold on, now we got some. I'm not sure it's considered odd to be single in your 30s now, at least not in London, males and females. A good chunk of the guys I have been with are in their 30s. Yeah, it is the new normal. So this is actually a great point. Shout out Rational Female for bringing that up. That's a good point. It is kind of normal now. So saying like having it not be normal is holding on to a standard from previous decades that is not really true any longer. I think it just the number of like, I forget what the data was. I saw the stat a while ago, but it's just like, I think it's like over half of women. I don't know what the age demographic is, like 18 to 40 are childless. Over half are childless for the first time since they've been keeping the stat. A lot of people from the millennial generation are unmarried in their 30s. That's like stupid common. And a lot of like my friends just got married, but for the most part, they were getting married in their like mid 30s. And with some exceptions, there were some dudes who were in their late 20s, early 30s. But yeah, I mean, that it is the new normal for sure. And that's what we were primed for. Like, if you remember a lot of the sitcoms we were watching, like, Friends or How I Met Your Mother or Seinfeld or whatever, about cool, awesome single people in their 30s living in the big city, just doing whatever the fuck. And, as opposed to family sitcoms, like your Home Improvements or your Full Houses, whatever. Home Improvement's a better example because Full House is like not like centered around a nuclear family. But yeah, it was like all the television shows. Sex and the City is another one where there was oriented around like cool, hip, single people in their 30s living in the big city, just like raw dog and bitches or whatever. And then you grow up and do that, and it's like, oh man, I didn't think. Here's the thing: I didn't think I was gonna get tired of raw dog and bitches, man. I just never foresaw that. I didn't think that like I was gonna get sick of like you know, I didn't think I was gonna get sick of it. And then you get so sick of it, and you're like, fuck, I really don't want to do this anymore. So now I'm like dating with intentions, but I'm like, I'm just doing it too late. It's just too late now. It's like the time to do this was like, 10 years ago. Now I have to do it. And everybody's like super gun shy, basically. So it's tough. And it is true. It makes a great point. Like Vegas is obviously like a tough place to do it because everybody's just passing through. Even the people who live here are just passing through. Like there's a lot of temporary relationships and like party culture and people chasing like dopamine hits. There's very few people that have a long-term vision that you could hopefully run into. And it happens. I mean, it's not 0% chance. It's just pretty fucking rare. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good point. Depends on your selection population. Yeah, maybe. That's what people keep saying. Like I said, in running around and just like talking to people, it's evident to me that there's a fair amount of people who are not on social media at all, who have a very different view of the world. They're just like tuning out all of like the nonsense and garbage, and they tend to be pretty normal, like or closer to like a baseline of normality. The problem is like my beliefs at this point are like absurdly heterodox. So it is difficult to find people that believe the same things about reality that I do. That's very challenging. And I think that is necessary. Having a shared reality with the person that you're romantically involved with is pretty important. So that's challenging. That's challenging for sure. But I keep doing the shows, and it's going good. Like a lot of things in my life are going super good, just like not that particular thing. But I meet a ton of people. Like that's not the issue. I meet a ton of people, and contrary to popular belief, they're not all sex workers. A fair amount of them are sex workers. I will be real with you about that. There's a fair amount of sex workers, but it's not all sex workers. People think that I like just like hang out with sex workers, and that's not factual. Anyway, I hope you do meet a woman and settle down. I'm putting all that on hold. Not really bothered about it anymore. Too much of a mess. LOL. Don't say that. You should have children. You should have children because we need high IQ people to procreate. Otherwise, the future is fucked. So that's the only reason I bring it up. You can do whatever you want. I mean, your body, your choice, or whatever. But I'm saying, like, fucking have children. Some with someone. Just you contribute to the gene pool. That's it. Like whatever else you do, whatever you can have them. I don't know. Send them to boarding school or whatever people do in England. Send them to Hogwarts. Send them to Hogwarts and have like Dumbledore raise them or whatever. I don't know what you guys do in England. I assume it's like Harry Potter. That's my main frame of reference for what England is like, is Harry Potter. So I'm assuming it's like once you have children, they reach 10 years old, and then you give them a firm handshake, and then you put them on a train that takes them to the castle where they're going to be raised and taught how to do magic or whatever. That's what I assume is Harry Potter. Downton Abbey, I also watched a fair amount. That's mostly what I know. So, at least raise them to Harry Potter age and put them on the train. Let's see. Come check things out by next Zones. I swear I had some minor culture shock after leaving my hometown and seeing how some of these people behave. Yeah, so that'd be Alaska. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. It does seem like folks in rural areas of the country tend to not be as indoctrinated because it really is an urban monoculture kind of idea. So it's like the big city, coastal elite, whatever. Everything is short term. Dating is a zero sum game. That's what's fucking us up right now. Somebody said that the other day. It wasn't me, but it's dating as a zero sum game is just the worst model you could have. That's what causes. So shit. I tried to explain the game theory of this on a show. It just doesn't work unless I have a chart, and I don't have a chart with me. You just got to look at a picture of it. At least I do, because I confuse myself trying to explain it. But basically, to put it very simply, right now, app-based dating is a zero-sum game. That's why all of the male influencers are like, they seem like they're closeted gay men who just hate women, and all the female influencers are like prostitutes or like sugar babies or whatever, because the game has become extract as much value from the person you're dating while giving as little value in return. And it sucks because, like, shit, man, a lot of these people are like trying to get their like basic intimacy and human touch needs met from people that they fundamentally do not trust. And that leads to, bro, if you, some of my married friends may not understand this, but like having sex with somebody that you don't trust or even really like just to get like your basic intimacy needs met is a fucking horrendous human experience. 0 out of 10, would not recommend at all. It sucks. It's horrible, right? And a lot of people, that's like their only experience, because app based and like Instagram based and like social media based, and part of this is like enabled by big cities. It's so easy to lie to people, have sex with them under false pretenses, and then abandon them. That this is just happening over and over and over again. You know, and so that's not the only thing that's happened. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes, you know, there's not any false pretenses or whatever. It's still, a lot of times people will like couple and then break that apart, and then even if everybody was like communicating 100%, there's still hurt feelings or whatever, because human nature is human nature, right? You can't unfuck human nature. Like, it is what it is. So the reality is, when people are fucking, they tend to get attached to each other. It is what it is. You can try to turn that off if you want, but like, it is what it is. So that has made it so that now it's incredibly stressful to interact with people. And you're like, dude, it's like dating becomes like this Mexican standoff where they're trying to fuck you before you fuck them. You know, sort of. It's bizarre. And to the point that people are so terrified of, you know, being vulnerable, because you can't be vulnerable with someone you don't trust. So they're so fucking terrified of it that they don't, you know, they just become super difficult and uncomfortable. And people have like absurd standards, like, you did not text me back within 20 minutes. Therefore, that is inconsistent behavior and you are gone. Bye-bye. And it's like, all right, shit. All right. Fuck, man. All right. I don't need that inconsistency. I'm like, shit. All right. Fuck. Anyway, so that's why, but I don't participate in, I haven't had dating apps for several years now for that reason. I think they're destroying society. I don't use them. I have an all right time meeting people in person. But the problem is, like, meeting people in person is like not, that doesn't like solve your problems, because a lot of the people in person, they and by the way, even in small towns, there are people who downloaded their whole personality from TikTok. You can tell it's not as culturally enforced as it is in a big city, but you still find people there that like, oh, like, this is just like, you look like you're from a small town, and then this girl randomly looks like a Kardashian. Like, okay, you know, where did that come from? And then you talk to her and she like has vocal fry, and it's like, where did you learn to do that? Nobody around here talks like that. You talk like you're from Southern California. No one around here talks like that. And it's like, because of fucking TikTok or reality TV or whatever the fuck, right? That happens sometimes. So it's got a big reach. That's why you got, you know, you'll have, you know, furries in Northern Idaho. It's like, where did you learn about being a furry? It's like, fucking from the phone. So it's not good. Not good. Let's pop in here. LOL, if only UK was like Harry Potter, more like EastEnders. Okay, I gotta watch that. Okay, so the one English show I watched in the In-Betweeners, which is one of my favorite comedy series ever, where it's those fucking 3 high school boys who are like always they're always getting in trouble. That shit is so funny to me. That one with the fucking bowl cut is so foul. They just always saying the most vile shit. Anyway, it's a fun show. Shout out to British comedy. It's actually pretty enjoyable. You can't unfuck human nature, but it has been proven that you can fuck it up even more. Yeah. So something I realized recently, I was talking to a couple of like comedians in a green room, and yeah, I was thinking about this. It's like a big thing I think boomers don't understand about like one of the reasons dating is going so badly. Like I've said before, when boomers talk about dating like it was fun because when they were dating it was like Skyrim, and you're out there dating and it's like Dark Souls or like Elden Ring. So you're really talking about two completely different games, and it's just so much more punishing and difficult now. And so they talk about it with nostalgia like it was fun and yay and it was kind of cozy almost. And then that's completely not reflecting the millennial and Zoomer experience at all. One of the things I was kind of realizing is I know, especially as millennials, this is even more true for the Zoomers. One of the things we were taught is that men and women are essentially the same, and the only difference between men and women is how they're socialized. And we were really like taught to believe that and act like that was true. Here's the thing. If you believe that, that by itself is enough to ruin your life. And I mean that, especially if you're heterosexual, especially if you're like trying to date the opposite sex. If you think that men and women are essentially the same and the only difference is how they're socialized, that by itself can ruin your life. If you don't fix that, if you don't course correct on that, because if you think like, there's stuff, I'll give you an example. Okay, there's stuff that women care about that men manifestly do not. Okay, like decorative towels and sending thank you notes and putting decorative tablecloths and seasonal decorations and all this shit, right? So, if you think him not noticing any of that shit is him like it if you think that that's him passive aggressively trying to take you out, like passive aggressively trying to stick it to you, instead of him being like mission focused the way men are sometimes, right? Then you're going to like build up a ton of resentment, and you're going to think about like the mental load and all this stuff because you think he's like pretending to be an idiot on purpose because he doesn't like load the dishwasher right, or because he used the wrong Tupperware when he put the food away or whatever. Like that kind of stuff is just like not in men's wheelhouse. But if you think men and women are the same, then you're going to not understand the origin of that mistake. Or if you're a guy and you're interfacing with a woman sexually and she tells you, hey, let's keep it casual, I'm super okay with that. And you think that she's okay with that because she said she was, and you think you don't understand that she might be okay with that. But she might just be saying that because she's hoping that this casual thing builds into a relationship. And that's what she has to say right now. And she's confident in her powers to, get you to want to be in a relationship with her. Right. But you're taking her at her word because if you said that, you would mean it. So you're thinking she also means that. You don't have a theory of mind for her because you think men and women are basically the same. Right. Not good. Not good. This will fuck you up. Right? This will fuck you up. This will create a lot of problems downstream for you. This will create a lot of issues. Like you got to understand that like men and women are different. And we used to understand that really well because we would grow up in like multi-generational families, and you'd have or like villages where everybody knew each other. So you'd see lots of different people at different life stages who were of both sexes, who are kind of living amongst each other, lots of different versions of people. And you're like, oh, okay. And you just kind of get to know how people are, and then you can take that information. But a lot of people do not have that. Like a lot of people, I've talked about this before, a lot of women have zero positive male relationships because their father wasn't around, and they don't have any like uncles or anything. So they've just hung out with like all women their whole life. And then they go out and they just like don't understand men at all. And they have this like super frustrating confrontational relationship as they try to form relationships with men where they're just like going after like relationship models that are just never going to work over and over and over again. And then they start to think that like men are horrible when really their selection criteria has been just rat fucked because they didn't have any kind of example, right? So that's a big thing. And they really programmed, especially millennials and Gen Z, they really programmed us to believe that shit, So, OMG, I was just watching The Inbetweeners. Yes, it's a proper British show. That's a great show. That's a great show. Shout out The Inbetweeners. I also fuck with IT Crowd heavy. I don't know if you're like an IT Crowd fan, but like IT Crowd is a little bit like of a little more sophisticated version of Big Bang Theory. I think it's kind of the same deal where like nerds are funny. If you, by the way, if you haven't seen IT Crowd, you got to see IT Crowd for everyone. This isn't just me and Rational Female talking. This is all of you. Everyone should watch the IT Crowd. It's super funny. And they tried to make an American version and they just didn't quite get it off the ground, which is a bummer, but probably for the best because it probably would have sucked. The fundamental problem with explaining anything to boomers is that they can't comprehend the generational gap. Yeah, they really don't get it. It's really tough. If you're lucky, like I have parents that are relatively open-minded who can take in new information, but a lot of people don't. It's a huge bummer because you try to explain to them that like for instance, the way the job market used to work and the way the job market works now is just completely different. Like the way the jobs used to be where you could like work at a company for 30 years and then retire with a pension and you would make enough money to cover all of your bills and have a bunch of money left over to do other shit. Like that is the reality for a really fractionally small percentage of people. And it used to be the reality for like the majority of boomers. So yeah. So, not good. Not good. But they don't really understand that. So that difference between what life was like when they were younger and what life is like now. They don't really get it. So it's like, especially with the dating thing, like they really don't understand that because they remember it was fun because they were like, that was all like post-sexual liberations. They're out there just like raw dogging bitches who are on birth control and not leaving it in and not giving a fuck and whatever. And it was like Vietnam. Everybody was going to die, The difference between your dad's life and your grandpa's life is fairly small. As you go further back, the differences get smaller. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, and now we're looking at, there are almost cultural divides between different school grades. Yeah, it's significant. It's significant, the difference between, generations now. And because of that, when I interact with a guy who's like, say 20 years old, like a lot of times they think that the millennial generation's like completely cucked and like not worth listening to at all. Because they views them as like having sold out to the system. Like we all went to college and whatever and took on student debts. They're like, oh, well, you're cucked to the system. And also the millennial response to the system not working for them was to like demand socialism. And then the Gen Z response is to like start flipping tables over and like go, nationalists, hard right. So, which is a lot more macho than, begging for a handout. So they're definitely going in another direction. So I understand they're kind of feeling abandoned. There is kind of a sense of like an absence of male role models, like more broadly in society. I don't know how much of that is kind of part of the original problem, but yeah, it's like, I appreciate that you guys are rooting for me though. I will let you know if I find somebody. I don't think it's I may not actually. I may just like not tell you. I usually don't tell you guys when I'm dating someone. Like it happens. Like I date people. I just don't talk about it on the show. I do date people, but they're mostly nothing that has ended the way that I wanted it to. So I'll let you know when something good happens. I'll let you know. But till then. I imagine England is like Monty Python with more machetes. Yeah, probably. Probably. Oh man, that's cool. I like no, I don't know. I'm having a good time though. It's fun. Vegas is dope. It's good for comedy. Like I said, I am so for those of you that don't know, I'm now a paid regular at Delirious Comedy Club here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I get a ton of stage time in front of like weekend audiences, which is fucking sick and awesome. And I get to travel and do comedy in other places. So I'm kind of hoping that I'm kind of trying to open up more into the Southwest now. I'm doing a lot of Northwest shows and I want to do like more Southwest stuff and kind of like expand eastward. I've got like big ambitious travel plans at this point. It's just making the money make sense at this point and trying to network and doing some challenging stuff. Like I said, I got some exciting podcast projects on the horizon, so we're definitely going to get in. There's going to be a lot of content coming on the pike. I have a ton of short videos that I haven't released, so I got to do that. And then I have so much stand-up footage to go through that it's like absurd. So it sucks. But it is what it is. It's good problems to have. So we're going to be getting that all out there, and hopefully I can deliver as much of that content to interested audience members as possible. And that'll be good. Obviously, if you can come out for the F&T meetup in early August, that'd be sick because I am going to be filming that taping. If you can't make it for that, that's cool because I am going to put the footage online. It would just be nice to have as many of you in a live room as possible, because that would be fun. Zoomers are half right. IMO millennials are only 50% cucked. I think that's probably true. The millennials are waking up, especially the younger ones, but the amount of cuckoldry amongst the millennial generation is still pretty significant. Like, I don't blame them. I don't blame Zoomers for looking at millennials and being like, these guys aren't good role models for what's in front of us. Like, I don't really blame them for that. I think they're mostly right. Obviously, it sucks because, like, well, you know, Zoomers are also in a really difficult and unique situation, and most of the advice they get is fucking terrible. Like, anytime a boomer gives you advice, it's just completely fucking irrelevant to your life situation. And, you know, most of their interactions with millennials are with their teachers who just scolded them for being like racist or whatever, which is so, man. Yeah, god damn. Talk about all the problems. Now, we talk about this on the show a lot, but the blowback to the way that you know, anti-racist millennial teachers had just this horrific blowback effect in terms of their impact on the politics of young men. So now there's going to be we're going to have to deal with, I mean, over the next 20 years, think about that. Like, the oldest Gen Zs in 20 years are going to be 50. So it's gonna be like 40s and 50s. These are gonna be like middle-aged adults who have significantly different politics than the generations that came before around load-bearing issues. Like, in a pluralistic society where there's a lot of different groups kind of like lobbying for control or like lobbying for their interests, how you think about those groups makes a big difference. And Gen Z is definitely going in a different direction, at least following the trends. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeesh. Not fun. Not fun. I could say with some inside information that the gay lesbian dating scenes is somehow worse, partially due to the pre-existing lack of commitment in the demographics. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I knew the straights were not okay. I didn't know the gays were also not okay. That is interesting. I'll have to ask some gays about that. See what's going on. I think it's in general what the algorithm is pushing, and I don't know if there's like a central intelligence behind this, or if there's a conspiracy, or if there's a group behind it, or whatever, but it does seem like what it's pushing is for everybody to be like miserable and alone. I feel bad because there's like, you know, there's a lot of people who like otherwise would have been in relationships in like a normal relationship climate are locked out now. There's people like me, like there's always a chance that I was going to end up a weird loner for the rest of my life. Like, me being single is not actually like that much of it's not that anomalous. It makes sense based on my like demographic information. Without getting too much into specifics, I'm a eccentric weirdo, and historically eccentric weirdos with ho-scaring opinions have been single for a long time. That's not like new. You know what I'm saying? But then I feel bad. You know, there's a lot of demos that are having a really hard time. Like, high IQ women are fucking crushed right now. Like, they're fucking, that's it. Because women like to date up and across on IQ. So if you're a high IQ woman, there's like a really, really tiny percentage of men you're even going to consider to begin with. And it's a tall girl problem. So like if a tall girl wants to date a guy who's taller than her, she has a really small percentage, but the guys who are taller than her don't care about dating tall women. They could date a short woman and they don't give a fuck. So it's the same with like high IQ girls. Like a high IQ girl really only wants to pair with a high IQ guy. That guy with the up and across IQ from her is totally fine dating a bimbo usually. So it sucks. So it's a tall girl problem. It's not good. Tall girls are like much more willing to adapt. I see tall girl, short guy pairings. I see all the time. So that seems pretty common. Tall girls are pretty flexible on that. It's weird. They're like more flexible on it. It's actually short girls who are less flexible on height. They have one giant height difference and they just can't live without it from that point forward. Yeah. Yeah. In defense of boomers, I'd say about 70% of what they have to say is useful. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Some of us are blessed to have parents who are capable of interpreting new information and adapting and realizing, oh, this is different than when I was younger. And you have to kind of like update your model of the world when new information comes in. It's like, yeah, okay, some can do that. A lot of boomers are not able to do that though, which is a huge bummer. That sucks, but it is what it is. It sucks, especially on the dating issue. Like they don't get it. It is I think we are at a point now where uh wanting to form stable relationships instead of like uh participate in mindless hedonism is sort of an act of rebellion in itself. It is kind of the punk rock thing to do, for better or for worse. So, I mean, as lame as that is, which is kind of lame. Yeah, dude, it's a bummer, but it's like that seems to be how it is. So doing things that are like sensible and going to lead to human flourishing puts you at odds with the culture. Like, have you seen all these videos of like high school students trying to read basic sentences? And a lot of them can't even read it. And if they can read it, they can't tell you what it meant. Like, I think we might be in for like an industrial strength literacy crisis in this country because of all of the educational holdups, all the educational setbacks downstream of COVID. Dude, like that's not good. That's not good. What's weird is like people who lack critical thinking skills and are not super literate, they're just going to take all their information from videos that come from their phone, right? And they're not going to like look into it, or they're not going to know how to assess whether or not what the video said is credible. They're not going to know how to do that. They're not going to have the tools because they don't have that education. So, yeah, that's not good, because what you've done essentially is you've created a population that's stupid easy to lie to. And there's a song that's really popular right now that's by this kind of part of this. This is just something I noticed. I don't know how this fits into everything, but there's a song really popular right now it's trending on TikTok, and it's by Young Miami of the City Girls, which is going to mean nothing to anyone in this audience. It's fine. And it's like, it's basically encouraging women to like spend money frivolously and shoplift. I'm not kidding. Look it up. Look it up. Yeah. Thinking is unk behavior. Yeah, I got told reading is unk behavior too. Yeah, I've gotten that for sure. Convincing Gen Zs to read a book is like crazy. They're just so resistant to it in a way that's shocking. It's like, wisdom is in books. Like the wisdom of your ancestors is in these books. You can like look it up. It's free. Whatever. So I'm trying to read as much as I can now and just get as much information as I can. And I also try to say useful or interesting things. What the fuck? Okay. I try to say useful or interesting things on my live streams and stuff. So Or I try. I don't know if it happens, but I do try. Okay. Well, so anyway, I was at an update on my screen here. Doesn't matter. Yeah, dude. So it's another thing I noticed. This doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's apropos of nothing. These are just things. This is the things that I noticed recently. Stream is what we're talking about. Things that I noticed recently. At the library, it's very hard to find a copy of the Iliad, and I was looking recently. I had to buy one. And even when you can find a copy of the Iliad, a lot of times it's like the retarded, like feminist translation of the Iliad. It's not like the regular like translation they were using before. They have like a new one that's like more inclusive and feminist or whatever, which is to say not accurate. And that is widely available, and you can pretty much only get digital copies of the Iliad now. Getting a hard physical copy, I had to buy one to get the right, translation, which is weird because you think, oh, everything is going to be at the library. Nuh-uh. Now everything's going digital. So I don't know. It's just like if it's digital, they can change it and they can delete it. I don't know, dude. It's like we're going through this weird shift where we're moving into this like post-literate world where people are just going to believe whatever dumb shit the videos on their phone tell them. Oh, Samuel the Infamous is here. What's up, buddy? Thanks, man. Thanks for the happy birthday wishes. Oh, Cinema Quirks is here. What's up, buddy? Thanks for the birthday wishes. That's the point. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like fucking Tucker Carlson. That's the rule. That's the goal now. I feel like that, every time I have to point some of this shit out. But there's so much going on that's trying to make us like dumber and hate each other. And they tell us lies about things. Like I said this kind of earlier in the show, that if you believe the lie that men and women are exactly the same and the only difference is the way that they're socialized, then you're going to spend your whole life, especially if you're heterosexual, you're going to spend your whole life resentful at the opposite sex because you're expecting them to behave and think and act in ways that are not native to them. And you're not going to be happy until they think and act in ways that are appealing to you. This is especially true with women. A lot of men are figuring out how women are and moving accordingly. Whereas a lot of women are just stomping their foot and being like, no, 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 no. They're not learning. So that's not good. But that's not the only thing that's like that though. Like go to college. It's a good go to college and take out student debt because it's good for your career or whatever is like stupid. Stupid advice for most people. Right. So like, don't do that basically. Oh, that's super annoying. Yeah. So like, let's see what else we got. Remember when Amazon only sold physical books and Netflix just mailed out DVDs? Good times. Yeah, dude. Those businesses have gone in a completely different direction. Wow. Yeah. Stop. So it's like, yeah, dude. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah, basically everything they tell us about reality, yeah. I think it's really fucked because, the entire, this is just, between you, me, and the wall. I trust you guys because you guys are, I'm among friends here. It's just nobody I don't know. I'm starting to think all the ideas that the presuppositions about human nature that are underneath American liberalism are just wrong. And like, I don't think there's like, I don't know if there's like a good way to deal with that. Like, it's just a lot of our beliefs about reality. Like, okay, like freedom is like really cool if you're like a sophisticated, like religious, educated, thoughtful population. But a lot of people are just going to use freedom to like do sodomy in the street. And there's not a good argument for why they shouldn't, if you're only like baseline for arguing is like freedom being the ultimate good. You know what I mean? But some people are just going to use freedom to do sodomy in the street. And that's like not good. You need people to not do that, basically. Ugh, it's just a huge bummer that we actually like do have to have social standards, and a lot of our like the high-minded goals about you know, freedom and doing whatever you want have just created kind of a mess. And it's a super corrupt, highly decadent, highly degenerate society where nobody seems to have any sense of duty to anything other than what makes them happy in the moment. And you really need people who care about the world around them and care about virtue and being honest and creating like a society that's livable for people. You got to have people who care enough about that to wonder how to do that and pursue it. And unfortunately, we have a population that's mostly concerned about uh that's mostly selfishly motivated, which is like a huge bummer actually. Anyway, most people will not benefit from colleges made for the elite, not everyone. That's 100% true. And if you make it so everyone goes to college, then you dilute the value of college pretty significantly. And necessarily, in order for like everyone to be able to get through college, you have to make college shittier. You have to dumb it way down in order for everyone to be able to do it, which is a huge bummer. Feminist Iliad, like is Nolan's Odyssey. Yeah, dude. So I think that's where a lot of that stuff is coming from. The translation that he's relying on is the feminist translation that I was talking about earlier. I think that's again, like I'm reading the Iliad right now. It's fucking like super based. It's very interesting. Oh, what's up, Emily Kruger? What's up, girl? It's very interesting to see what a different society thought of as virtuous, like, and what they praise their heroes for doing. So, like, obviously, going to war and doing a good job and like killing the enemy is like a good thing in their culture. And like Odysseus is repeatedly praised for being a trickster, and like Achilles is praised for being like a capable fighter and a great warlord and a leader of men and all this stuff. And you know, so yeah, so it's very interesting as you see some of these virtues kind of play out. Like I said, I'm doing my uh classical education reading list, so I'm just like reading all the stuff I probably should have read in high school and college. What's crazy is how much education I have and how many of these books I have not read, or how little time they spend on Aristotle in college and how much time they spend on like Foucault and like postmodernists, where they're like, oh, here's like these French sex pests who wanted to destroy civilization. So we're going to read all about that. We're not going to read about like courage and wisdom and justice and virtue and like, thinking about what the highest ideal of a thing is. We're going to read what this, let's hear what this French pedophile that hates America has to say. Like, he's probably got something going. We should listen to him. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, what the fuck was this education? There's a lot of people who get out of American law school and don't understand that, don't know about the Anglo-American common law tradition. They don't know that we owe our history of laws to England. They don't know about the Magna Carta. They don't know about any of that. But they know all about fucking like, feminism and, critical race theory and all that shit, right? But they don't. So it's like if you spend the bulk of someone's education teaching them to like hate their country, then you're going to produce like people who are like nihilistic and motivated to dislike their country. And it's a huge bummer to the extent that's true. But now, of course, we're seeing, it was weird. I saw this study recently. I really should have pulled up these charts. I didn't know I was going to do this. This is kind of an impromptu thing. I saw a chart recently that was like women outpace men in college education in every state, but men wildly outpace women in civic knowledge in every state, which is basically knowing what's going on and how the government works and stuff like that, and branches of government and what each thing does and all that stuff, right? So men wildly outpace women in civic knowledge, while at the same time women are lapping men in like actually getting college degrees. So college as a metric for determining who is smart is completely jumped the shark. That is like no longer the case. Right. Because we discussed earlier, college has been diluted pretty significantly to make it so that everyone can do it. And if it's diluted to the point that everyone can do it, then it's basically meaningless. It was a tool for educating and training your elite class, but the idea of there being an elite class is like offensive, I guess, to I don't know, dude. Like I'm starting to think, I don't know. I'm much more I'm becoming like very like monarchy curious. I'm very monarchy I don't know about monarchy curious. I don't know if I'm like monarchy positive, but I'm like more more sympathetic to like some kind of like monarchy every day. Every day. I know that's like one of my hottest takes, but be that as it may. Let's see what else. Have you heard of Epic the musical? I have not. I look forward to it. In the Mouth of Madness, 1994 explores the idea of the sane and insane swapping majority status and what that means for reality. I think we're living it sans tentacles. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's weird. People who have significantly a very distorted view of reality, let's say, a very distorted view of reality that just like they have load-bearing beliefs that are simply not true. And if you act those out in reality, you're just going to have a bad time. It's going to be disastrous. That's just how it is. So not good, right? A lot of people are in that situation where they're just having absolutely disastrous beliefs about reality that do not match well. And then they go and act those beliefs out and they have disastrous life outcomes. And then they're like, how did this happen? Surprise Pikachu face, right? Like so much of it, like I talk to women all the time and I was like, have you tried fucking men who like you? Like a 90% of their dating problems would stop if they just exclusively fucked men who liked them. It's like, well, how do I know if he likes me? It's like based on how he treats you. It's like, well, but what if he like secretly likes me and doesn't know it? And it's like, basically I'm trying to get them to disconnect like feelings and words and all that other mushy shit and just look at behavior, because behavior is a language. How does he treat you? Does he listen to you? Does he care about how your day's going? Does he listen and respond when you talk? Does he make time for you? Are you guys, connecting emotionally, or is he just like fucking you and then scrolling on his phone? Like a lot of women's dating problems would be fixed by just like fucking men who like them, but they're not like into the dudes who like them. I guess they're into the dudes who don't like them. And, they're getting the fucking raw dogged in the Courtyard Marriott by one of the Los Angeles Lakers, and they think that means they almost got married. It does not. They don't know the difference between sexual attention and like romantic attention. It's not good. So they've been, like I said, programmed with like a completely stupid idea of human nature that doesn't work. And they essentially have no strategies for getting their needs met, because all of our mechanisms within society for matching people up and getting them towards like marriage and children and integrating them within society, all those conveyor belts that kind of move people along and got people what they needed to integrate into society have completely broken down, and it's been replaced with do whatever for the fuck you want, who cares? And like that whole do whatever the fuck you want, who cares ethos is fucked, because you have no duty to. We have a bunch of people now who feel like they have no duty to anything outside their own happiness. They don't have a duty to their country or their ancestors or to God or anything like that. They're just like, yeah, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck makes me happy in the moment. Like not necessarily what's good long-term, but just what makes me happy in the moment or what gets me the most validation in the moment, which is a fucking like horrible life model. Oh, Jesus. This is not like a very fun broadcast, guys. We're not having a lot of fun today. My bad. Let's see. Someone has basically written songs for a Broadway style musical for the Iliad. Songs are pretty fire. IMO. Oh, I got to check that out. That sounds great. But yeah, it used to be, we have these like stories that are from like a previous civilization where they had a completely different concept of virtue ethics than we do now. And being like strong and awesome and a leader and athletic and a good fighter, that was all like, that shit made you cool. And it's not like now where like, it's like what makes you cool. We would just like, who's cool is like whoever is like the most disabled or whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's a very, very different world. And also it helps because that was the frame of reference. So when you think like, so later, again, as I move along this reading list and I'm reading, so I read through like the Iliad and Beowulf and like on into Shakespeare and all this stuff. And then you go and you read the founding fathers and the stuff that they wrote. A lot of their references were to Greek mythology, to the Iliad, to Shakespeare and all this stuff. So that was the stuff that they were referencing. And Shakespeare references a lot of Greek mythology. And so you're kind of, each thing kind of leads into the next thing and helps you understand the next thing a little better. And that gives you a decent frame of reference for the world you exist in today and how it came to be. What's up? Hey, see you later, Jason. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, and so I don't know. So hopefully that works out. I'm gonna let you guys know how it goes. I'm trying to make myself unretarded basically from watching all short videos. I'm trying to like fix that. I don't have like an easy solution to that, but I'm doing my best. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. But yeah, this is kind of fun. Basically, the way it's going to work now is I'm going to do streams kind of like at least once a week. I want to do these so I can connect with people. It's a lot of fun. But in order to grow the channel, I'm going to do more pre-recorded content, and I'm going to be dropping that. So be on the lookout for that. A lot more shorts, hopefully some more comedy videos. I just got to upgrade my editing output. Like I said, I'm getting a ton more footage now because I'm doing like 6 shows a week, like I said. So I'm just doing a shit ton of stand-up right now. So I got to figure out how to kind of synthesize that into something that also feeds into YouTube. And we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'll keep doing the lives, like maybe once a week, do a live. I also want to bring back Touch Grass, where I kind of bring on, if not a panel, then at least a couple different people to kind of talk to. Because I think anytime I have interesting people to talk to, I think you guys, benefit from that. I got a bunch of people lined up who are legit cool people that I want you guys to hear from, that I think you'll actually benefit from. I think so we'll see how that goes. That's the plan. That's what I'm trying to do. So like I said, I have big things I want to get done this year. And, I took some time off because I feel like my channel was stagnant. It was not going the direction I wanted it to. Let's see. Look at it this way. How long does it take for her to get me off? If it's an all night kind of thing, I might actually hate her. If I can't last, I like her. Brutal. Oh, dude, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. It's like, and they don't like, it's hard to find a woman who's got like a good personality, who's also like hot and lives close to you. It's hard to do that, man. It's hard to do that. You pretty much got to like pick one. It sucks because like it used to be like if you got an ugly one, they'd be nicer, but that's not the case anymore. They're all rude. It sucks, man. So you got to do your best. You got to do your best. It's like I said, my goal is to like meet 1,000 women, and then if I meet 1,000 women, I might meet a good one. Probably just law of large numbers. I'll meet a good one just by. It's funny. I meet good ones that are like decent enough, but they're just like not a match for what I'm looking for, which is a bummer. That's the thing about like being this late in the game, is like I've already established a lot of what my life looks like. So if I got to find somebody that fits into my existing thing instead of somebody to like build with. Oh, hey, Gray Poupette is here. What's up, buddy? Happy birthday. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. OG watched my first ever stream. I was there in the early days when I was but a humble regular on the MSK show, when I had no YouTube channel of my own to speak of. Wow. Good stuff, man. Oh, man. So yeah, it's been good. Yeah, if you guys are able to make it to the Evansy meetup, that'd be fucking sick. A lot of people aren't going because Las Vegas in August is a terrible idea, and because of just like money and stuff. So a lot of people aren't going, which is a bummer. But if you are going, I'll be there. I'm gonna be doing a taping on August 8th. I'm gonna be doing a taping. So I'm just gonna put 20 minutes on tape at Delirious. We got a pretty good camera set up there, and it'd be super awesome to pack the house with friendly faces. So if some of you guys wanted to go, that'd be fucking sick. If not, I totally get it, because like money is whatever. But yeah, lots of fun. This has been exciting. I'll try to make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I'm gonna be dropping a lot of new stuff. I still have some stuff I want to do. as far as, getting stuff cranked out by the end of the year. It's tough because like I said, I have a huge backlog of footage. I just have to deal with it. And it's like not my favorite thing. Like getting the footage is one thing, but like going through it and like finding the good shit and cutting it out and then like editing it for consumption is like a whole nother process. So that'll be fun. A lot of stuff coming down the tubes. So by the way, you got super chats enabled. It's your birthday after all. Oh, I actually do. So if you look in the video description, there is a send me money link that you could send money on that. That's yeah, that's what I got that. It's gauche to bring it up. I appreciate it, man. It feels gauche to bring it up, but it is a fact. I do have a send me money link in the description. So if you guys want to see that, if you guys do feel like sending me money, that'd be fucking sick. That's the other thing too, is like I need to grow the channel a little bit so that I can get super chats enabled so that like going live is still like a valuable, it just becomes a lot more valuable if people can super chat and stuff. I actually just like doing it because I can talk to people. That's a lot of fun. I also like it when the audience is super active and they ask questions and stuff like that. That helps because it gives me some guidance on what to talk about. I want to do, like I said, I want to do a little more when I do like content. I want to save that for like pre-recorded videos, and then the lives are just going to be me fucking around and like talking about whatever I want to talk about. So I think that'll be fun. It'll be easier and it'll keep me out of trouble because I don't want to talk about things that are too provocative on live because then you can get then you can get then you can get in trouble for being silly. Yeah. I just saw a comment in the chat, the fuck we talking about. So on Instagram, sorry, folks, Instagram folks, I missed that. Yeah, I don't know if like there's a huge overlap between like what my YouTube audience is interested in and what my Instagram audience is interested in too. That's another thing. I don't know how to square that circle. Like I actually think like my YouTube audience is just completely different than my Instagram audience, which is completely different than my Facebook audience. There's basically no overlap at all. So I don't know what to even do about that. I don't think I'm even talking about anything particularly inflammatory anymore. I'm just going to kind of stick to the relationship stuff because I think that the politics stuff is really played out and I'm kind of bored with it. And I don't really know what's going on because I think that we're being lied to kind of all the time by everyone. So it's really hard for me to so I'm just going to talk about the stuff that I'm really confident I know about, which is going to be more of like the relationshipy stuff. Let's see what we got. We could bring you back anytime you're free. If you're free, I'll show for you. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I would actually love to go back to Samael's show is a lot of fun. So shout out Samael, the infamous. Be sure to go check out his content. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know if there's like I don't know. Like I said, it's fun. I'm gonna see. I've had a good year so far. We're gonna see how things go. I don't really know what's next. I have a lot of stuff. Like I said, I have a lot of projects coming down the pipe. We're gonna see how that goes. I don't know how they're gonna be received, so we'll see. And I'm just like doing a lot of stand up right now, I guess. So it's the main thing. I think I need to do I do kind of want to do these lives more consistently. I don't know what the fuck the point is though of like doing them on Instagram though. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think there's like anyone who's like interested in them on that. I think pretty much everybody who's interested in this is watching it on YouTube. Possibly also Rumble, except for the Rumble stream got canceled for some reason. Like it just like shit out on me for no reason. So I pretty much everybody who's interested in this is watching it on YouTube. And then after that, like pretty much no one gives a shit. But yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So if I want to capture like the maximum reach on YouTube, then I'm going to have to do more pre-recorded content. So that'll be something to be on the lookout for. Anyway, this was kind of fun, guys. I'm probably going to hop off now. This was fun. It was good hanging out. I appreciate you guys doing it. Like I said, I'm going to do more of these, and next one I do is going to be more of like topic focused. This was just kind of me getting back into it. Anyways, guys, it was good hanging out with you. I'll do another one of these when I do another one of these. I'll just like answer it or whatever. So just turn notifications on, I guess. And yes, this was fun. Take it easy.
Johnson crack for the foot. Well, look at my crack. No. Look at that crack.
Are we looking at ours as cat now?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear a damn thing you said.
All right.
And because I was a gazillionaire and I like building so much, I cut that price for free.
The species is dying, the birth rate is plummeting, women are chopped. But yeah, you know what? Get a fucking cat.